Most people have heard of compound interest. Most people don't actually understand what it does to money over time. They nod at the explanation, move on, and keep their savings in an account paying 1% a year. That's the gap between knowing something exists and understanding what it means in practice. Compound interest is interest earned on interest. That sentence sounds simple. The implications are not. When you invest money and earn a return, that return gets added to your original amount. Next period, you earn a return on the new, larger total, not just on what you put in and on everything that's accumulated. The growth feeds itself. And over long enough periods, this creates something that looks almost impossible when you first see the numbers. Here's the most important concept in all of compound interest: the difference between linear and exponential growth. Linear growth adds the same amount every period. You invest 1,000 euros, it earns 70 euros a year. You have 1,070 euros, then 1,140 euros, then 1,210 euros. Predictable, flat, boring. Exponential growth is different. Year 1, you earn 70 euros. Year 2, you earn 74 euros and 90 cents. Because now you're earning 7% on 1,070 euros, not on 1,000 euros. Year 3, 80 euros and 14 cents. The amounts look small. Then time does something strange. At year 10, your 1,000 euros has become 1,967 euros. You've nearly doubled without adding a single euro. At year 20, it's 3,870 euros. At year 30, 7,612 euros. At year 40, 14,974 euros. You put in 1,000 euros once, 40 years ago, and touched nothing. And you have nearly 15,000 euros. The money multiplied 14 times, not because of any sophisticated strategy, because of time and a consistent return. Now apply that to monthly contributions, and the numbers become genuinely uncomfortable to look at. 300 euros a month, 7% annual return starting at 25. By 35, you've contributed 36,000 euros and have around 52,000 euros, already ahead of what you put in. By 45, you've contributed 72,000 euros and have around 151,000 euros. By 55, you've contributed 108,000 euros and have around 378,000 euros. By 65, you've contributed 144,000 euros and have over 910,000 euros. You put in 144,000 euros over a lifetime. Compounding turned it into 910,000 euros. The extra 766,000 euros came from the same source: time and returns on returns on returns. There are two variables that control everything in compound interest. The first is the rate of return. The difference between 5% and 7% sounds small. Over 40 years, it is not. 300 euros a month at 5% for 40 years produces around 455,000 euros. The same 300 euros at 7% produces 910,000 euros, 2 percentage points. Double the outcome. This is why fees matter so much. An investment fund charging 1.5% in annual fees isn't taking 1.5% of your money. It's taking a percentage point or more off your return every single year, compounding against you in reverse. Over decades, a 1% fee difference can cost you hundreds of thousands of euros. The second variable is time, and this is the one people consistently underestimate because the early years look so unimpressive. In the first 5 years of investing, compounding barely seems to exist. The returns are small, the growth is slow, and it's easy to feel like nothing is happening. But those early years are doing something invisible and irreplaceable. They're establishing the base that everything else will compound on. The money you invest at 25 has 40 years to grow. The money you invest at 45 has 20. Same amount, completely different trajectory. There's a concept called the doubling rule, sometimes called the rule of 72. Divide 72 by your annual return, and you get the approximate number of years it takes to double your money. At 7%, your money doubles every 10 years. At 10%, every 7 years. So if you have 10,000 euros invested at 7% at age 30, by 40 it's 20,000 euros, by 50 it's 40,000 euros, By 60, it's 80,000 euros. By 70, it's 160,000 euros. One investment left alone multiplied 16 times. No additional contributions, just compounding at work. The reason most people never experience this is simple. They start too late, they stop too early, or they keep the money somewhere it can't compound meaningfully. A savings account at 0.5% doubles your money in 144 years. An index ETF at 7% doubles it in 10. Same money, fundamentally different outcomes. Compound interest is not a trick or a financial product. It's a mathematical reality that works for you or against you depending entirely on where your money sits and how long you leave it there.